Screaming Geek Me here. I am Jay the Geek. This video is a monthly watch. We're going to talk about everything watched in the month of January. But before we get into that, if you like physical media, 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, if you like home theater movies in general, please check out my other videos on my channel. I do these different discussions like this, and I do reviews, I do unboxings, collection updates every month. Check that stuff out. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on. And always feel free to comment below, let me know what you think. So let's get into what I watched in the month of January. A lot of times, I watch movies during the day by myself, and then my wife's recently got into a movie watching kick, so we've been watching a lot of movies together. So I know December we had a very big month of movies, and this month is another good one. So let's start off with Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. It's a nice classic here. I got this from Turbine. It's a 4K. I even did a review of this you could check out. It's a nice digipack. This also had a Vinegar Syndrome release I never picked up. Just for some reason, never did. I like Vinegar Syndrome, but I just never picked it up. So I finally got this from Turbine. Check this out. Next up is one I just recently got. Rumpelstiltskin. This came from TerraVision. This is a 4K release. Freaking phenomenal movie. I did an unboxing of this you can check out. Also did a review. TerraVision knocked it out of the park. This looks incredible. Next up was a franchise my wife and I started at the beginning of the month, which is First Blood. Classic, here on 4K. Incredible. This would definitely rank up there with some of the best 4Ks out there. We follow that up with Rambo First Blood Part 2. And we got Rambo 3. And we got just Rambo, which of course the extended cut is actually called John Rambo, which actually had a certain, when they originally made the movie, they was calling it John Rambo. Then they decided they could just call it Rambo. And finally we got Rambo Last Blood, which I think it really rounded. I love the entire franchise. And I think besides the first one, this one ranks up as one of the better ones. I really like this one. Next up is another franchise. It seems like that's kind of a theme we weren't purposely going with, but we just kind of, started sticking with doing franchises. So we did dug out The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. Been a long time since I watched any of these. So here we got the first one. Then we go to Equalizer 2, another great one here. And then we round it up with Equalizer 3. Phenomenal movie. I really enjoyed this. The entire franchise is freaking awesome. I love all three of these. Next up is one I watched, Independence Day Resurgence. This didn't get a lot of love in the community. I really enjoyed this one. After all the times between the first and second one, even though Will Smith isn't in this, I freaking love this movie. And the way it ended, Roland Emmerich, the plan was to make a trilogy. And after this one didn't fare very well, so I think the third one got scrapped, and that was a shame because the way this one ended is like, it leaves you wanting the next one. They talk about, going, I don't want to spoil anything in case you haven't watched it. But yeah, Independence Day Resurgence, I love it. I still wish it would revisit and finish off the trilogy. I freaking love this movie. Now, next up is another franchise, but this is mine. Wife did not want anything to do with these. We got the Terrifier. These were first time watches. I'd never watched any of these before. So the third one coming out, I bought all three of these. So yeah, freaking love. This one is definitely out there as far as not just a story-wise, but just the style, just the stylization of it definitely looked a lot different. But this one is a really good movie. Just one, you have to be open-minded on how, the way it was filmed. And, the brutality of it, how it was different. But it is a really good movie. I really like this. Then we follow up with Terrifier 2, which, takes it up another notch, which, everyone was talking about how this is better than the first one. Yeah, it is. It's not saying the first one's bad, but definitely this one is better, but it definitely has a different style to it. A little bit more mainstream than the first one, but yeah, phenomenal movie here. And then we wrap it up with Terrifier 3, which, again, they keep raising the bar with this. This is freaking nuts. It is so brutal. Some of the stuff they do in this is it is crazy. Great franchise. I did reviews of these, and the Art the Clown character, I think David Howard Thornton, played him, and the way he could do the movies without saying one word, his facial expressions, all the mannerisms, the body language, phenomenal job. He does an incredible job with the role here. Next up is another franchise my wife and I got into, the Fallen franchise. We start off with Olympus Has Fallen. Phenomenal movie here with Gerard Butler. I love the character. If you haven't seen it, definitely recommend picking this up and checking it out. And the second one in the franchise, we got London Has Fallen. And again, continuing with Gerard Butler, great character. It's a really fun movie. Just basically everything takes place in London. But yeah, fun movie, highly recommend. And the last one of the franchise, Angel Has Fallen. Even though it's all fallen, it's kind of the downside to this is having different names. It's like some of us OCD, you want to have stuff together on a shelf, but technical or can't put them together because they're not alphabetized. So do you put them all together as Fallen and put them together that way? Please comment below and let me know how you put these together. Do you alphabetize your collection? Now, how would you put these? But again, great franchise. I freaking love all these. And supposedly they did get the green light. They are going to do a fourth one. Supposedly I think it's going to be called Night Has Fallen. That could change, but they are going to do it. I'm looking forward to that. Now, after doing that franchise, my wife wanted to check out this one, The White House Down. It's Channing Tatum. That's one of her guys she really likes. It's a good movie. It's definitely a popcorn movie. It doesn't get talked about a lot. So definitely highly recommend picking that up. It's a really good movie. Being Sony, this could see a 4K. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet, but we'll have to wait and see. But very good Blu-ray here. Next franchise, we tackled Missing in Action. Now, this is actually a two-movie set. And it actually does have 1 and 2 in there. And surprisingly, this is not from Kino Lorber. This actually comes from Fox MGM. Now, Kino Lorber did do a set. And surprisingly, the quality of the Blu-rays here is pretty damn good. I'm glad I didn't spend the money on a Kino Lorber. I don't think it was needed because these are actually pretty good. And then we rounded up with Braddock Missing in Action 3. Another great movie. I'm glad to see some of his stuff finally getting some love in the physical media as far as 4Ks go. Of course, these aren't on 4K yet. I could see these coming to 4K, maybe not, since Kino did Blu-rays of these. Maybe we'll see them done. Next up, another franchise, The Mechanic with Jason Statham. Been quite a while since we watched these. Very good. And then we got the second one, Mechanic Resurrection. Another fun movie. These are such a blast to watch. If you like Jason Statham, you will love these movies. They are so fun. Next franchise up, Men in Black. We got the first one here. Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones. I really like these movies. A lot of fun. Then we got Men in Black 2. Now this one overall is definitely not as good as the first one. There's a lot of stuff in here just freaking stupid. And, has some highlights, but definitely not as good. They really dropped the ball with this one. And, of course, we round out with Men in Black 3. This one, they make up for it. This is a really good movie. I thought they did a great job the way they pull the story together. So that rounds up, for me, it rounds up the Men in Black franchise because I will not get Men in Black International because that movie sucked ass. I will never freaking own that one. So Men in Black is just 1, 2, and 3. Done. The other one doesn't exist in my book. Next up is one I just watched the other day. Captain America, the First Avenger. Love this movie. Definitely one of the best Marvel movies they've ever done. I love the original origin stories of the, Marvel Universe. The Captain America one is incredible. Next up, we've got Smokey and the Bandit on 4K. Great job here. Wife and Love Love. This is a great classic. I'm glad to have this on 4K. Did a phenomenal job here. Don't know if they'll do any of the others or not. I know I've seen 3 of them. You know, the first 2 were great. The third one without Burt Reynolds was kind of a joke. It was fun. Then supposedly there was another one made for TV. I have not seen that one. You can get them on DVD. I don't know if it's on Blu-ray or not. So it'd be interesting. I'd like to see at least 2 of them on 4K. So we'll have to wait and see if they do any more. Next up, we've got National Treasure. Phenomenal job here with Nicolas Cage. I love this movie. I've watched this many, many times. Glad to finally revisit that one again. And of course, the next one we got National Treasure, Book of Secrets, you know, the second one here. In my opinion, is just as good as the first one. It's a lot of fun. So I love some of that historical stuff, the way they do the, you know, treasure hunting. I would have loved, I know they planned a third one, but it just never happened. They wanted to do it, and I just, at this point, I don't think it's going to get done. And it's such a shame. I know they had on Disney Plus, they did a TV series, and apparently it got canceled. I haven't heard too many good things about it. I still wish they would do a third one of this, you know, get John Turteltaub back, you know, get Nicolas Cage back. But I just, at this point, I don't see it happening, but I would love to see a third one. Next up is a movie a lot of people give shit about. It's one of those disaster movies that people don't like because people want things based in reality. It's like, it's a popcorn movie. It's supposed to be entertainment. Forget about that crap. I don't care if it's fake, how far-fetched it could be. So this is a guilty pleasure. I enjoy this one. Geostorm has Gerard Butler. This is one of those cheap ones I picked up recently. I watched this a while back. I like this movie. I don't care what anyone else says. I like it. That's all I care about. I enjoy it. It's a popcorn movie. That's what it is. Next up, we've got Under Siege with Steven Seagal. I would love to see Warner Brothers do a 4K of these. These aren't too bad on Blu-ray, but yeah, I would love to see this get 4K. And that being said, then we got Under Siege 2, Dark Territory. Another great one, you know, enjoyed just as much as the first one. It's a lot of fun. Next up, we've got San Andreas with Dwayne Johnson. Another great disaster movie. I've watched this quite often. I think I've watched this 3 or 4 times just last year. And I think even a month or so ago I watched it, and my wife was like, she picked it out one night. I was like, I don't care. I'll watch it again. I love the movie. It's great. Got a great story. Got just very entertaining. Next up, we've got Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. This one I've had for quite a while. Picked up during a sale last year. Hadn't watched it, and if I decided to put it in and watch it, definitely different. I mean, it was hard to get into. Just the way the story was presented, it was very weird the way they jumped around. But once it got going, it was a good movie. It was entertaining. I didn't regret it. But not something I would want to watch all the time. It's maybe once in a while, but it was a decent movie. It's worth checking out. Next up is Executive Decision. Got this on DVD. I've never upgraded it on Blu-ray. It needs an upgrade. And hell, I'd love to see a 4K of this. This is a great movie. You know, Kurt Russell. Of course, Steven Seagal plays a small bit role in it. You know, John Leguizamo, also Halle Berry, Joe Morton, Oliver Platt. So great fun movie. Please, Warner Brothers, get this on 4K. It needs it. Next up is it's a made-for-TV movie, 10.5. If you like good cheesy disaster movies, it's an earthquake movie. This is really damn good. I need to upgrade this to Blu-ray. I mean, cast-wise, we've got Kim Delaney, Fred Ward, John Snyder, Beau Bridges. So it's got a really nice cast to it. But it's a good overall movie. Remember, it's made for TV, low budget effects. It looks cheesy as hell, but it's really good. If you have not seen this, I recommend checking this out. And next up, they actually made a sequel to it, 10.5 Apocalypse. Uh, Kim Delaney comes back. Bo Bridges comes back. And we add in Dean Cain, uh, David Kubit, Oliver Hudson. Who else we have here? Oh, and his name is not even in the credits. He plays her father. Oh, here it is. Franklin Gala. He's in. I don't know how I missed that. I was looking at the credits, but yeah, he has a pretty good role in this. So yeah, just like the first one, it's made for TV, so it has the cheesy effects, but overall, really good movie. So definitely, if you enjoy these, if you enjoy disaster movies, check these out. These are really good. Next up is another one I just watched the other day, Behind Enemy Lines. Great movie. Gene Hackman, Owen Wilson, freaking phenomenal movie. And the Blu-ray is pretty damn good. Being Fox, I doubt we'll ever see this on 4K. It's not a big popular movie. So I think we just have to live with the Blu-ray for this at the moment. But this is pretty good because Fox does a phenomenal job with their Blu-rays. Next up is another movie that doesn't get a lot of love, Battleship. Liam Neeson. I love this movie. Another alien movie. A lot of people don't like this, but I got this through a sale a couple years ago. I like it. I watched this multiple times. Not afraid to say it's a good movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Next up is The Fugitive. Great classic Harrison Ford movie. Got this 4K last year. Phenomenal job. Highly recommend getting this. Next up, we've got The Hunt for October. This is definitely my favorite Jack Ryan movie. I really like this one. I think most people would agree this is probably the best one. Sean Connery's, Alec Baldwin, great job. I've watched this many, many times, so glad to have this on 4K. Now, next up is another Jack Ryan movie, but a lot of people might disagree with me. The Sum of All Fears would be my second favorite Jack Ryan movie. A lot of people don't like Ben Affleck, but I freaking love this. He does a great job with this. Morgan Freeman. A lot of people love the Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger with Harrison Ford. They are good, but just for some reason, as much as I love Harrison Ford, I just don't enjoy those as much. So this one I put in. So this one I put in as my second favorite Jack Ryan. We won't talk about that piece of shit Shadow Recruit. That doesn't exist in my book. I got it because I bought it as a collection, but it will not. I will never watch it again. But yeah, Sum of All Fears, another good one. Next up, we've got a good comedy. Paul with Seth Rogen playing the voice of Paul. You got Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Jason Bateman, Sigourney Weaver. So this is such a fun movie, vulgar with the language and stuff. But if you want a good laugh, I highly recommend getting this movie. I've had this Steelbook, the Blu-ray, for years. Freaking love it. I've watched this multiple times. Next up, we've got The Green Mile. Great Tom Hanks movie with Michael Clark Duncan. Definitely, we lost him way too soon. He's a phenomenal actor. And this is probably one of the best movies out there that I would recommend. And now from going Green Mile, the next one I didn't purposely pick up because of it. I picked out Green Hornet, and I was like, you know what? There's another Green movie. I watched it without thinking about it. I just looking at the movies, and I picked it off the shelf. And I was like, so it's another Green movie. It's another one of those comic book movies that most people are afraid to, most people shit on this movie, but it's fun. Or of course, I'm unbiased. I didn't follow comics, so I don't have any expectations going in. So this is a fun movie. I really enjoy this. I've watched this multiple times. Next one up is another comic book movie that most people shit on. Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. Again, no expectations watching because I didn't read the comics. It's just a good popcorn movie. It's very enjoyable. I had a lot of fun with this. So it's one of those guilty pleasures of mine because everyone hates it. I like it. Green Lantern. Next up is an animated movie I watched, Mulan. I didn't watch the second one yet. I just watched the first one. Classic. This is probably one of my favorite animated movies from Disney. Especially with, it's got a great story. But the role of Mushu with Eddie Murphy voicing it is freaking phenomenal. He freaking steals the show here. So yeah, Mulan, one of my favorite animated movies. Next up, we've got Ocean's 11. Classic movie here with George Clooney, about getting in groups together to rob a casino, a group of casinos. Love these. There's actually 3 of them here. So here's Ocean's 11. And next up, we've got Ocean's 12, the second one in the franchise. A lot of fun. Unfortunately, I have not watched Ocean's 13 yet. For some reason, I got busy watching other stuff, so I've watched just Ocean's 11 and 12, so I've not seen the other one yet, so I'll be watching that soon. So that does it for the movies I watched in the month of January, but outside movies, there are some TV show we've watched. My wife and I, we just picked these up and watched these last weekend. Reacher Season 1 and Reacher Season 2. We watched both of these. If you've not seen these at all, I highly recommend checking it out. From Amazon. We originally she watched on Amazon Prime, and picked these up on 4K. Great. I'm looking forward to watching Season 3 here this month. Great. Alan Ritchson, I love the way he plays Reacher. Great. So there you have it. Everything we've watched in the month of January. Overall, the movies, we've watched 50 movies. And then 2 seasons of Reacher, which each season was only 8 episodes, so it doesn't take very long to get through. I forgot to break down how many of those I watched and how many we watched together, but I think might have been half and half, not sure. But yeah, total 50 movies we watched. So I hope you enjoyed my little list of what we watched in the month of January. What are some stuff that you watched? What are some big highlights? Going forward, I know I want to get back into watching my Supernatural TV show. I've taken a hiatus from it. I need to jump back into that. But I know my wife and I are still watching movies, and plus I'll be doing some more reviews. I've got a lot of stuff I've bought recently. I want to get some reviews up for you. So, I think February will be a pretty good month for movies, but hopefully some more TV shows as well. So check out my other videos on my channel. Like, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and we'll see you soon. Geek out.